Hey, let's take a look at Apple. It's been close to 2 weeks at this point, so let's just see what's been going on with this company for those past 2 weeks, and then we'll look into what's a good time to pick this one up. Caltech, they reached a potential settlement with Apple and Broadcom over a patent case. Caltech sued Apple and Broadcom in 2016, alleging that millions of iPhones, iPads, Apple Watches, and other Apple devices using Broadcom's chips infringed its wireless communication patents. The jury ordered Apple to pay roughly $837 million due to patent infringement damages. The U.S. Appeals Court overturned the award last year and ordered a new trial on damages. That had been scheduled to begin in June of 2023, but was postponed indefinitely in May. It sounds like maybe they're going to reach agreement outside of court, and I imagine it will be less, but I guess we'll see. If anything does come up, I'll share it. Also, Russian ministry bans employees from using iPhones for work to access work applications and work email exchanges. This is due to them worried that the U.S. will hack them via iPhones. Apple supplier Foxconn begins iPhone 15 production in India. Again, we've mentioned it many times. A lot of these bigger companies are moving to India. And Foxconn, even though I think that's a Vietnam company, they're also moving to India to support Apple. Um, so, yeah, just a little news there. Last thing before we switch to the technical piece, global smartphone demand collapses. I don't think it's that bad, but multiple articles have mentioned the projected decline in handset sales, aka your smartphones, in the near term, as high as 6% decline. Also citing customers maintain their phones for an average of 40 months, where I'm sure before it was more like 24 months. So yeah, just something to be aware of, especially with Apple. I know they're somewhat diversified, but clearly a big revenue generator for them is their phones. So just for this next year, it seems like they're forecasting Apple to be probably flat in terms of revenue. Um, I guess we'd have to look at their guidance again to see if that's true, but I believe last quarter they did say flat. So honestly, if they can even just stay flat for the next year, that would probably be a win considering the overall market looks like it's heading downwards by about 6%. Not much has changed here, but this is what the analysts are saying. So it looks like about 89 billion. Next quarter they were saying 124. I have to imagine that's going to get pulled back, but I believe this is also the quarter when like the iPhone 15 is released. So maybe there is going to be that type of pop. We'll find out later, but right now that's what we're expecting. It hasn't changed since the last time we looked. And also, last time we looked, it looks like we picked some of this up right around 177. We had a buy point of 172 with resistance at 195. We noticed the short term uptrend since January. Also, noting that the uptrend is descending, so by the dips on this. So let's take a look and see what's going on. So here's definitely that dip that we were talking about. The uptrend, we might as well call it broken at this point. Obviously, it's still like up overall, but it's not within our purple uptrend lines. Uh, this is too significant to really kind of, I don't know, pick itself back up. The one thing that does seem to be happening, and it is right around where I picked it up. Um, I think we picked it up at 177. So I did reach a little bit. Here we are now. It's at about 176. Uh, there is some support at 172. We noted it earlier as it was climbing up that it kind of hesitated at that point and then carried on. But now as it's pulling back, at least in the very short term, like this week and last week, right around 172, maybe even a little bit higher, like 174. Uh, it seems to be kind of finding footing at that area. Of course, we'll see over time if that kind of holds true. But for right now, like uh, how I'm seeing it, I feel like it's fair value, at least for me at this point. Um, it's at one. It's actually at 176. So that actually is decent. I think. I guess I will give it a buy. It really just depends how much you want this one. I guess keep in mind how we just went over that revenues are projected to be flat this next year. So it really, I guess we will pick it up. It makes sense to pick it up. Um, but yeah, we're just going to keep that in mind. Uh, Overall, so the ideal buy point would be 172, resistance at 195. Um, we'll just keep tracking it, I guess. It's we also have a buy point at 146. That would be great if it pulled back to there. Uh, so I guess that's kind of the strategy. We'll just see how long it hangs out in this range. Obviously, we can't use all the money for it, but uh, we can add some here. And if you haven't picked it up at all from this dip, because that's the debate for me right now is I know I've picked it up before right around this price, so maybe I should pass this time and just see how it plays out. But um, I'll make a decision on that once I kind of look at the portfolio. But if you haven't, um, I I would I feel comfortable to pick it up. Like I said, I already did. But yeah, if it were to break lower, yeah, I would probably wait until I saw a little bit of footing, sort of like it has here, uh, and that might not happen till like 146. But yeah, we'll just play it as we go. So right now, I feel like it's a decent spot. It's definitely not overvalued at the top of a range. There is some support there. Uh, so yeah, that's how I'm seeing it. Just a quick recap then. Apple 176, that buy point at 172, with resistance at 195. The secondary buy point being 146. Updated the date. Short-term uptrend since January. Uptrend is broken or descending. We'll see how it plays. And so we're gonna buy the dip. So here's the dip. Now we need to see how it reacts. Um, but yeah, that pretty much wraps this up. So if you have any questions or comments, uh, please feel free to share that below. Otherwise, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.